Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I'm Randy and this is a contest entry, and this is a contest for Ron Haggerty and his channel, The Vinyl Pasta. He recently reconfigured his channel and changed the name, and now it's The Vinyl Pasta for any of you looking for Ron's channel. And got a great channel. He knows so much about a lot of different genres in music, but it seems like his specialty is heavy metal. So if you're a big heavy metal fan, you should absolutely be subscribed to his channel. Anyway, he's got a contest called Your Favorite Year in Music. And I don't know how many of you watch the YouTube channel Listography, but I'm a big list person, so I'm always making lists anyway. So I love watching their videos. And right now they're going through the different years. Like I think they started in '58, and then going 59, 60 on up, where they list the top 10 their 10 favorite songs from that year. Some of them have to do with Billboard and some of them are not. But anyway, so I actually have a big list of my favorite songs, so I went on and started writing which ones were what year. And the first page that filled up was 1968. So I determined that 1968 is my favorite year in music. So that's the year I'm choosing. And I've got the list of prompts for Ron's contest, and might as well get started. So the first prompt is to show an overrated album. So that was kind of a tough one for me to find an overrated album in 1968. But I did pick this album by Diana Ross and the Supremes, Reflections, which got decent reviews, but I mean it wasn't called one of their best albums or anything. But I think it's a little thin. It's got the great title track, and it has a great version of Love Makes Me Do Foolish Things, which was a hit for Martha and the Vandellas, but I actually like the Supremes version better. But other than that, they get a tired version of Ode to Billy Joe, Up, Up and Away, Forever Came Today. Just, some covers that don't really do anything for me. And just like I said, besides those two songs, there's not a lot to recommend this album. And of course, it's on the Motown label, like I said, and it's their last work with Holland Dozier Holland. And I think it suffers from that. Next is to show an underrated album. Now, I don't know how underrated this was. I just don't think I knew a lot about it. Or when it came out in 1968, I don't think it was appreciated as much as it is now when it got the Tone Poet reissue. And that's Duke Pearson and the album The Phantom. Duke's amazing on the piano here, and the sound is fantastic. And it really benefits with Bobby Hutcherson playing on it as well. I love some of the Latin feel of some of the songs. Los Ojos Alegres, the Happy Eyes, it's probably my favorite cut on the album. And it's got on congas Victor Pantojo and Potato Valdez also on conga and gyro. I don't know what that is. But wonderful album, reissue. I'd recommend this Tone Poet to anybody. Is Duke Pearson with some nice Latin rhythms and just wonderful jazz album. The next question was to show a comeback album. But since I picked such an early year, I don't know, there wasn't a lot of time to have a big comeback album. But so the one I'm picking, actually their first album didn't do much and doesn't really have a lot on there to speak about. But their second album, they really hit it big, and that is Big Brother and the Holding Company with Janis Joplin and Cheap Thrills. Like I said, this is the second album, and this is where they really put it all together. So I don't know if you really call that a comeback, but it's quite an improvement off their debut with Summertime, Piece of My Heart, and the classic, and also Ball and Chain. But the whole album is just wonderful. And unfortunately, I do not have that on vinyl, but Cheap Thrills is my comeback album for 1968. Next is a prompt is your favorite debut album. So I'm trying to think of my favorite debut album from 1968, and it's one of my actually favorite debut albums of all time. And that's music from Big Pink by The Band, which is just a fantastic, this is a reissue, but just a fantastic album. Like I said, came out in 1968. Actually, the second album, the self-titled The Band, is probably my favorite, but this is right up there. Both of them are just classics. This has their most famous song on there, The Weight, which is a wonderful song. Tears of Rage, written with Bob Dylan, is just a fantastic song as well. I like they got a great rocker and Chest Fever. Lonesome Susie's great, and a couple with Bob Dylan songs, I Shall Be Released, and this Wheels on Fire. The whole album is just fantastic. Music from Big Pink, my favorite debut. Next is the album you wish you had from your specific year. And for 1968, an album I wish I really had. This isn't the album, but this is the group. This is Procol Harum. This is an album in concert with the Edmonton Symphony Orchestra, which is a great live album. But the album I wish I had is Shine On Brightly by Procol Harum from that year. Seems like every time I see one, it's either in terrible condition or it's pretty pricey. But sometime I'll end up getting Shine On Brightly by Procol Harum. That's my album I'm picking for the one I wish I had from 1968. And the last prompt is to show your top 5 favorite albums from that year. And besides some of the things I've already shown, I'm just going to pick 5 albums that I love from that year. And this could have been one of the best debuts as well, and that's the Fleetwood Mac self-titled. This was Peter Green at his best, and one of the best English blues albums. Jeremy Spencer was also here with John McVie, Mick Fleetwood, and Bob Brunning. But yeah, wonderful English blues album. No Place to Go, My Baby Is Good to Me. Let's see, Hellbound on My Trail, the Jimmy Johnson, the Robert Johnson song. My Baby's Good to Me. It's just the whole thing. All these tracks are great. They're, like I said, one of the best English blues albums, and this is the Fleetwood Mac debut from 1968. I don't talk a lot about country, but also one of my favorite country albums came out in 1968. And that's this Jerry Lee Lewis album, Another Place, Another Time, which was a big hit, big country hit for him. It's also got What's Made Milwaukee Famous Has Made a Loser Out of Me, 2 of the best Crying Your Beer songs. Break My Mind, the J.D. Loudermilk song, he does a great version of that. Does a great version of the Ernest Tubbs song, Walk on the Floor Over You. Great Jerry Chestnut song, On the Back Row. He really did some great songs with the songwriters Glenn Sutton, Jerry Chestnut, and I can't think of the other guy. It's not happening to be on. Mac Vickery. Am I saying the name right? I don't remember. But anyway, produced by Jerry Kennedy. This is just a fantastic country album, Jerry Lee Lewis, and it's on the Smash label. Okay, and next is another great debut, actually, and that's Child is the Father to the Man, which is this Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Back when Al Kooper was leading the group, which is only on this first album. He was later replaced by David Clayton Thomas, and I think they missed out by letting Al Kooper go. His song on here, I Can't Quit Her, I don't understand why that wasn't a huge hit. I know David Clayton Thomas has a nice voice, but I think they missed a little, and he's such a great keyboard player, Al Kooper. But Morning Glory, the Tim Buckley song, they do a really good job on that. House in the Country, Something Going On, Megan's Gypsy Eyes. Just fantastic album by Blood, Sweat, and Tears and Al Kooper, and they missed a lot when they got rid of Al Kooper, unfortunately. But like I said, another wonderful album, 1968. And next, I'm going with the Zombies, Odyssey and Oracle, which is a fantastic psych pop album that really wasn't appreciated when it came out. It's only recently, I think, gotten the recognition. Besides the song Time of the Season, most of these songs were not known until later. And that's actually, I just caught talking about Al Kooper. He actually does a liner notes on here. But a wonderful pop psych by the Zombies, Odyssey and Oracle. And the last one, and why this is such a great year, is because the greatest album of all time, according to me, Astral Weeks, came out in 1968 with Van Morrison. This is my copy on Warner Brothers. This is where Van Morrison became Van Morrison with one of my all-time favorite songs, Madame George. You just got that mystical quality and the way he can blend all these different instruments with the flute, and especially the bass playing of Richard Davis. It's been called the best bass playing on any rock album. I think I can't remember if it was Greil Marcus or Dave Marsh from the Rolling Stone. But like I said, my favorite album of all time, and I recommend anybody that's into music to give this a listen, this Van Morrison album, Astral Weeks. I think it might take a while to get into because of the stream of consciousness lyrics, but the way the instruments go in and out and the way he uses his voice, I just think is amazing. And anyway, that's my picks from 1968. Everybody support Ron's channel and subscribe to him. And everyone have a good day. Thanks.